and I truly am your backyard mechanic. Welcome to my backyard, where I have broken cars. So today we're going to tackle this Ford, because I need my truck. Guy just can't live without a truck. Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome to a brand new episode. Today we are going to be doing the rear axle on this Ford pickup truck. Alright, so let me show you how we're going to get this done. So as we can see here, I was riding on down the road and pow! Snapped this axle. Yeah, it was great. Definitely busted up my my bearing. So we're going to be replacing this bearing. We're going to be replacing this broken axle. Got to check on the gears, make sure I didn't trash them. In my particular Ford, it appears that we are running the 1/2 inch. Get your 1/2 inch and let's dig in. This has probably never been cracked into since this truck was born. One thing you're going to want to note when you're under here and you start busting these bolts loose is you're going to see this tag on here somewhere. It's generally two. There's one on the other side here. This one tells you what type of synthetic oil to replace into this when you're done. And this particular tag over here is your identification tag. It's going to help you properly identify this rear end, so that's kind of important when you buy your axle and any of these other parts that you may need, because Ford unfortunately puts a couple rear ends in their trucks, so it's not like you can just go say, hey, Ford truck rear end part, and there it is. You got to know specifics, so hopefully your tag's still there. Once you get those bolts out, you may need a screwdriver to pry this off, or you can just get your hands right in there and bust it open. And there we go. We're in. Looks like everything's still intact. That's a good sign. It's a good sign, my friend. Good sign. So now I will show you how we will remove this axle. On the phone with the parts store. I break into the back of that thing. I got the number. I go look it up. AutoZone, Discount, Auto Store, all them places around me here locally. Nobody's got that particular one. Well, I mean, they've got it, the passenger side one, for some weird reason, but not the driver's side. Why not the driver's side? That's the main driving side of this vehicle. Let's research. That's what every good job comes with, is lots of research. That's why you're watching this video. Boy, I got a horrible angle. I'm dark. Okay, so perfect example why brick and mortar stores are disappearing. As you can see here, I found the part on Amazon for way less. After calling around to all the local auto parts stores, inquire about how much. It's almost $200. Delivered with Prime to my door, it's almost half the price. Whatever. Anyhow, point is, I got this coming. We're going to put it in. I recommend it. We'll put some links below to the old Amazon. That's how you can help us out, you know. Okay, well, let's get the rest of this thing apart, now that you're up to date. You know me, I love to eat during every repair or something, so I'm just going to whip up an egg today. I do have chickens. Because of which tire I've broken, I don't have to jack it up. I can just grab this shaft here, give it a little spin, and you can see the whole thing spins around. So what we're going to want to do is find on one of these edges here. We're gonna have a bolt right here, and we're gonna need to take it out. It's apparently on the other side, so let's get it spinning. And there she is. So we need to pull out this bolt. I've definitely confirmed it at a 5/16. I've got this loose. So we take the screw out. Take the nut out, whatever. And now, as you can see, it just pops right out. From there, we want to turn it back around so that we can see it again. Now we can safely remove the axle piece that's left. Because generally you would push on the axle and this thing will pop forward. Right in there. And there's a C-clip around this, which will yank out. You want to try not to mess any of this stuff up, because we really don't want to have to try to realign these gears or anything, so we'll just try to pry on this a little bit with a screwdriver and maybe be able to get it up to the position we need, and then pull the clip out with a pair of needle nose, and then this thing will slide right on through. You can see I just pried on it a little bit, and now we can see that C-clamp in there. Now it'll be the tricky part, because it's just a broken piece, but I've got it shoved through, and I'll try to go around and see how I can get it out from the other side. As you can see, there ain't much left to this one. I use this really strong magnet dealie that I've got here. I was lucky enough to get a hold of it and get it out. So here we go. Here's the other piece. Successfully removed. There it is. Got that piece out. Get my new one, slide it in, put all things back together. So unfortunately I have to order the part and wait. So to be continued. The box came from Amazon. Shipped right from Dorman. So half the price on Amazon. We're gonna unbox this baby. Here we go. So, box is a little worn out, but it's okay. So you can see it comes with a bearing. Comes with all the studs. Comes with the cap, seal. Oh, and there we go, look at that. It's packaged up nice, got a little sleeve on the end to protect the pieces. Feels like it's kind of greased up already. Look at that. Look at that, right there. Nice brand new one, straight from Dorman. Although I love Amazon, there's one unique feature that the brick and mortar stores offer, specifically AutoZone. They do the tool loan program, and so the easiest way to get the rest of that bearing out is with their bearing puller. Here's what we got. What we're going to want to do is locate the right size for what we're working with. Sort of to me looks like this guy. Just look for the one that looks about correct. And the way it works is slide it in, and then we tighten this nut and washer down until it's right up against it. Snug against that, just like so. Now we get out our slide hammer. It's one of these little dealies. It's weighted on the end. I'm gonna screw that in here. Once you get it in, you're all set. Take this up, slam it back. Just like that. Now I'm going to clean up this surface a little bit. Get ready to put in our new one. Really, they make a set to install this as well. And I very well could have probably have rented it. But without having it, what you want to do is try to find the biggest socket you got, which this isn't the one, that will line up here, or something at least that big, that's solid and you can smack with a hammer so that this evenly will go in. Or you can just slowly work it in around the edge until it's all the way back and seated into that groove back there. It'll seat, it'll stop. Upon successful insertion, you should see the same diameter all the way around. You just get a nice light, peek in the back, look up at the top, make sure everything's nice and straight in there. And then from here, we will move to the seal. So I picked up a 85 140. It recommends 5 to 120. There you go, just put a little bit of this in there so she's a little ready. Start lubricating because you know I'm going to be spinning tires. Next, we got this guy. So we're going to want to go ahead and get our lugs in there, because once it's up tight against the thing, it gets a little harder to do that type of stuff. Everything needed right here. There we go. So what we're going to do is pick a hole. Oh man, those are loose. Oh, there we go. Got to just find the right hole there. See, there's a difference between the styles, so you'll know which one it goes in. Basically what I like to do is kind of pop them in a little bit, and then what happens is when you tighten down your lugs, it kind of finishes it off. So put your lugs in, just gently guide this baby up in here. And it'll find its home as you work it in. And there she is, locked in. Push that baby in until you see the where you put your C-clip. You return the C-clip to the, and then you just push it back in place, lock it in. From this point we'll roll it back around, insert the top pin. Make sure, if you want to know how this goes in, you just, that bottom hole goes back down there where that bolt was, which is on the bottom. The pin is back in. Clean up our bolt, make sure the threads are nice and clean. Spin it back around and that will insert here. See, this is where it really helps to have kept it straight, but I did my best. See, you can feed it out a little bit. Line it up with that bolt. Get it to the right spot. The bolt should go right in. Bang. Okay. Beautiful. We're just going to clean up this surface real good. And I'm going to go with this gray because, you know, it's high torque, oil resistant, sensor safe, low odor, set time an hour. I mean, it's great. Kind of like you're decorating a cake, putting on that frosting. You end up with a nice surface like this. So now we will go apply this to the differential. You must also do the same thing here. Just make sure all that surface is clear. Alright, once we've cleaned it up, it's time to put her back. Now you'll notice these little notches here. There's one on both sides on this particular Ford. You just match those notches up to this, and I'll tell you exactly how it goes on. As you can see, they're right there. So, and you know, you can kind of tell because it only fits one way. Ideally, what you're going to want to do here is tighten it up fairly tight, but not torque it all the way down. You give the gasket time to set, and then you will give it a final little torque off. So before I mount the wheel, as you remember, we kind of just tap these on. So what I like to do is, they sent these nice steel lugs here, so I'm going to tighten all these down and torque them real good to pull those and seat those all the way, because I just don't like doing it with the tire. But generally, after a couple trips, put a couple miles on here, it's good to get out and recheck all these, torque them back down and make sure, because you know, it's just nothing worse than a wheel flying off. See, as we can see, I need to tighten it up just a little bit more to get those to seat all the way in. Sometimes, you know, there's lots of methods to get this tight. I've decided to take this here piece of steel that I got, because the best method is leverage. So, if I give myself more leverage for torque, I can really tighten this baby down. Just, you know, you got to be careful because you don't want to snap things, so don't go overboard. Alright, let's see how we look in there. The moment of truth. Okay, I'm going to get these off. Alright, so, I mean, they're not all the way in, but pretty good. So I'll give it one more squeeze. Here she is, standing on her own shoes. Alright, let's get that oil in. So, on the front side of it, you'll find this little tab here that comes out with just your standard old. Into that hole, you take that out, and you will add roughly 1.9 quarts, 3.8 milliliters to a Ford 8.8. She got it out. Fill her up. So now that we've got some oil in, we can see that there's no leaks. We come back and we just give this a final little half turn, you know, where we didn't finish it off, to kind of snug up the sealant. Forms a nice gasket. Everything's tight. And no leaks. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode on this repair, make sure you subscribe below. We do lots of crazy things on this channel. So, yeah, now I'm going to take my truck out for a ride. She's all fixed. I'm ready to rock. See ya.